Hello everyone, welcome to the practical DC circuit analysis. Before moving to the practical, let's discuss the theoretical concept behind this. In this practical we are considering two-port networks. As shown in the diagram below, two-port networks contain two ports or four terminals, among which, one port is used as an input port and the other port is used as an output port. The first and second ports are called as port 1 and port 2 respectively. Here, the current enters through one terminal and leaves through another terminal of each port. The parameters of a two-port network are called as two-port network parameters. Among these listed options, our main focus will be only on ABCD parameters, or we call as T or transmission parameters. In two-port network, ABCD parameters are a simple set of equations that relate the voltage and current at the input to the voltage and current measured at the output. By the definition, we can take equation 1 and 2. Parameter A represents the open circuit transfer function, B represents the short circuit transfer impedance, C represents the open circuit transfer admittance, and D represents the short circuit current ratio. In the open circuit, the output terminals are open, and the voltage across the output, which is V2, is measured. Since the circuit is open, there is no current flowing through the receiving end. Therefore, I2 is 0. In the short circuit, we keep receiving end short-circuited. Therefore, the output voltage, which is V2, is 0. By these considerations, we can determine A, B, C and D parameters. Two networks are in cascade arrangement means that the output of first network is going to be the input for the second network. For the first and second circuits, we can write the matrix form of input-output relationships separately, and by solving these two matrices, A, B, C, D parameters of the cascade network can be determined as follows. Next, let's move on to the RC time constant. RC time constant has defined as the time required to charge the capacitor through the resistor from an initial charge voltage of 0 to approximately 63.2% of the value of an applied DC voltage, or to discharge the capacitor through the same resistor to approximately 36.8% of its initial charge voltage. The graphs are showing the RC charging circuit curves. To derive an equation for the voltage across capacitor, which is Vc, we can use general RC circuit. First, we can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to the circuit and write the equation 1. Equation 2 is the current across the capacitor. By substituting equation 2 and equation 1, we can finally obtain an equation for Vc using supply voltage V0, resistance R and capacitance C. Here, RC is the theoretical time constant for the circuit. In here, we are going to show that the time constant of a RC circuit doesn't depend on the point we are selecting on the graph, voltage across capacitor versus time. The curve is drawn using observed values, and I have selected point A on the curve as a random point before voltage gets steady. Tangent at point A is drawn in black line, and B is the point where tangent at point A crosses supply voltage of the RC circuit, which is versus. We are using the equation for Vc as derived previously for this proof. By taking the gradient at A, we can derive the equation 1 and 2. Since equation 1 equals to equation 2, we can obtain an expression for RC time constant using Ta and Tb. Likewise, we can repeat the same calculation for different random point and clearly see that RC time constant doesn't depend on the point we are selecting on the curve. Well, now let's move on to the practical. First, have a look at the practical procedure. As given in the lab sheet, you have to conduct 3 tests here. In the first part, you have to find ABCD parameters practically using open circuit test and short circuit test. For that, you have to connect the cascade T-pi network, as shown in the diagram. Cascade T-pi arrangement can be taken by combining T and pi network together by appropriate connections. In the second part, to take the capacitor charging voltage readings in every 5 seconds, you have to connect this circuit. Let's have a look at the apparatus that are required to connect these circuits. We need a standard resistance of 3.3 ohm, a 6 microfarad capacitor, a digital multimeter. Also, we need a stopwatch, regulated DC power supply, T and pi circuit model, and 2 milliammeters. All these apparatuses are provided in the installation lab, and for the stopwatch you can use the stopwatch option in your smartphones as well. Now, let's start with the open circuit test. You need to connect the circuit as follows. For this test, you have to connect a voltmeter across output port to measure output voltage, and reading should be taken in higher accuracy, since it is required for the second part of the procedure, for that we can use the multimeter instead of a voltmeter. Physical connection between components are given here. Since this is the open circuit test, you will be noticed that the output current is 0 in the circuit. Let's see how the test is carried out. The second test you need to perform is the short circuit test. You can connect the circuit according to this diagram. Instead of a voltmeter as in the open circuit test, we have to connect a milliammeter across output port to take output current reading. Physical connection between the component for the short circuit test is given in here. Since it is the short circuit test, output voltage can be taken as 0. Just see how the test is done. As the second part in the procedure, you need to take the voltage across capacitor readings in every 5 seconds, until the value become constant after some time. The figure shows the physical connection between components. Let's be familiar with the test now. Take a look at the observations, and based on that, what are the calculations you are required to perform. For the part 1, we are going to take V1, I1, V2, and I2 readings of both open circuit test and short circuit test. The readings are given in the table here. In the calculation part, you need to calculate experimental ABCD values, and based on the theories learnt, the theoretical values of A, B, C, D parameters need to be obtained as well. In the part 2 of the procedure, you are going to observe the voltage across capacitor in 5-second steps until you notice that the voltage becomes steady. As in the tables, voltage values had increased with the time and after 110 seconds in has become constant. Based on the observations, you are asked to plot the graph between voltage across capacitor versus time. In the graph, select 3 random points and draw tangent lines on each point until it meets supply voltage level. Then take the time in between each point and the point where the tangent of each random point meets supply voltage level. These values can be taken as T1, T2, and T3. To understand that, make sure you referred to the RC time constant proof 2 as discussed earlier. Then practical value of time constant for the charging circuit can be obtained by averaging T1, T2, and T3 values. Also, theoretical value of the time constant can be calculated by the equation, time constant equals to resistance value into capacitance value. In the discussion, you need to discuss the importance of ABCD parameters, comment on the theoretical and practical results, provide valid reasons for the difference on theoretical and practical values, and finally, show that the time constant of an RC circuit does not depend on the selection of the point at which the tangent is drawn to the curve and thereby give a complete definition to the time constant of an RC circuit. Well, this brings to the end of the practical. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you.